Hey guys, it's Snipezy. Welcome to the conclusion of Dragon's Dogma 2. We are going to be finishing the Unmoored world, and also, as an extra bonus, I'm going to be showing off the normal ending since we didn't get around to doing that since I messed up on my first playthrough, which we are currently playing through. So, with a little bit of editing magic, I'm going to show off how to get that in New Game Plus, but I'll just do it at the very end, where we could be like, oh, so this is how to get this achievement, since there's only like 2 achievements that I have left in the game to get at the moment, so I'll be showing that off at the end. But I have been doing some grinding, and I want to talk about a few things before I go into like too much detail. But I finally found out how the forager specialization works, and because I was like, oh, well, how come it's only showing up certain materials with the forager skill? Like, I don't want those materials, I want other ones. So the way it works is that it looks at the required materials that you require to enhance your gear or your main pawn's gear, because it says here at the bottom, displays enhancement materials for current equipment of arisen and main pawn. So it will show off all the materials that I require as well as my main pawn, so things like that. And the main magic medal, foaming slime, and then black crystal, blackened horn, another one, and I may actually need that too, but I'll mark those later on. But yeah, they basically tell you the vicinity of that required material that you need to enhance your gear, because if I go to one of these guys, where am I currently? Okay, cool. So just for the sake of the video, because it shouldn't save over this, but if I go here, and I'm still in the process of enhancing my gear, so I'm not quite fully done, but I wanted to talk about it whilst it's fresh in my memory.
Are you in the market for something in particular?
So see, like here, we saw this on the map earlier, blackened horn, so I need 2 of those, so those are on the map because I require those.
Do come again.
And then if I talk to the elf lady, it says here that I require the Eldrisite for this gear as well, so that's why they're showing up on the map, because for some reason I thought Forager showed you all material types, but I actually really like that it only shows you specific ones that you need for your gear to enhance them stronger.
Well met, son. How might I be of service?
So you just gotta check with, the blacksmith or whatever, and make a note of what materials are required for that specific smith with the smithery, because I want elven smithery for, of course, Galadriel, because she is a sorcerer, so I want her magic defense to be stronger, and as well for her staff to have more magic, which I fully upgraded, so her weapon is amazingly strong, 1170 magic, which is insane, and the weight carried is really light as well, which is great about upgrading, so definitely worthwhile doing. And I still need to get dragon crystals, the worm life crystals, to enhance my gear.
Since time, remember. Draconic blood.
And I'm still after a weapon as well, because I want to have this one for the magic archer, because I really like using that class as the warfarer, and the class itself is really good too. So I'm going to try and see if I can get enough points for that, and then enhance some of these weapons. And do you know what, for the sake of the video, let's just enhance these now, because I do use them a little bit. But I would like to also enhance this, and not this weapon, but the strongest bow for the magic archer, which is this one, the Gramhar. and I've grown really attached to the Sovereign's armor, so I don't plan on changing it. You could probably get the other armor which is stronger, but I love the design of this armor, and I think it holds up pretty well. It's really strong, so I'm not going to change that. I'm going to keep it as it is. And
Then I bid ye farewell.
when I choose to go back as the Mystic Spearhand, I can actually wear this armor fully, which is great. And I'm going to show off some of the fights that I did as well, because one of the materials that was required for my main pawn was to fight the Medusa. It drops a certain like bone, I believe. It's like quite a rare drop, and speaking of rare drops, it also gave me a Medusa's bow, and I heard about this before, and apparently it gives you a little bit extra XP when you use it, which is pretty cool. It's like one of the strongest bows that you can get in the game that's dropped from a monster, which is very nice, and you can probably sell it for a lot of money too, and can, you know, compare it to the other types of bows that you can find in the game. But I thought I'd just mention that. And I also set up a port crystal outside the entrance in case I do need to fight the Medusa again, so I think that was a pretty good idea to do that. Since I had spare port crystals, may as well use them. And then of course I've been fighting all sorts of different monsters in the realm, like quite a lot of the ghost monsters, because they're required for Galadriel's gear with the elven smithery enhancements. So I've been fighting quite a lot of those, as well as another headless horseman that I bumped into, and they weren't too much of a challenge. They were quite difficult. They're probably like one of the toughest mini bosses in the game, if you exclude the dragons, in my opinion. So I did hold up my own though against the headless horseman. And of course, along the way, I've also been fighting the dragons, getting the crystals, as I showed off just then. So I'm going to carry on trying to fight even more dragons, because I need to get a lot more crystals to unlock the Mystic Archer's weapon from the Dragon Forged, which is only available from the end game during the Unmoored World. So I'm going to try my best to get enough to unlock that bow, and to also fully upgrade the materials. And usually when you see things like lesser dragon scale, that's usually a really good indication that that is the location of where a dragon spawns. So, you know, keep those in mind, like a drake there, lesser dragon, and I think depending on the class of the dragon, they drop more crystals. So I think what I said before about defeating them quickly, I think that was wrong. I think it just depends on the type of dragon that you take down. But yeah, the forger specialization, really handy, and I got some pawns that would help me out with it, since you know, I got a stronger mage and a stronger fighter to help me out in trying to get these materials. So yeah, monsters like the Lich and the drakes and the lesser dragons, I've just been fighting those, and I'm going to carry on fighting them as I'm doing more post-game stuff, doing the grinding, the farming for materials. I'm going to carry on doing those. So yeah, in a bit I'll update you guys on if I've managed to upgrade everything. Fingers crossed I have. I'm going to try my best. But yeah, I'll update you guys when I've done some more grinding. Okay, so we are back on the main menu, and just to show this off, we are on day 10 of the Unmoored World with trying to get materials to fully upgrade our weapons for our characters, as well as just getting some XP really. So I have been doing quite a lot of grinding, and I'm going to show it off now, and I found some success and some failure in a way, or I guess just no success at all when it came to finding some of the dragons, or at least going to the locations where the dragons are supposed to spawn. And I have been trying to find information online about it, and it's quite scarce about certain stuff, but I have already been to some of the locations that were mentioned about the dragon spots. There was one that I did try to go to, which was near the Nameless Village, and for some reason I couldn't access it in the Unmoored World, since I reached the outskirts where the game is like, oh, you shouldn't go there. but clearly there's like paths that we can take to explore the map more. So maybe if I did it during the actual base game, I probably would have had some success trying to get to that spot, but there was no dragon in that area, and I tried to go to some of the dragon locations that are already marked up, and most of the time the dragons weren't there. But there was one dragon that did show up where we went to the Dragon's Breath Tower, where we got the Mystic Spear Hand Maester ability from Sigurd when we helped him fight that dragon, which was pretty much part of the main fight, and that was pretty successful. And also, I'm going to talk about this now, but I found a solution that helps you farm the crystals a lot easier by basically using the thief location. There is an ability that you can use for the class, and you can even use this if you're playing as a warfarer, but I believe it is called Bump and Life, or Bump and Limp I should say. And basically the way that works is if you are attacking the enemy regularly with your base attack with the thief location, Bump and Lift will trigger sometimes but not often, but it's a very low success rate of you basically stealing an item from that enemy, and that does mean that you can in fact steal the Wim Life crystals. And the way you do it is by basically equipping a low strength weapon for the thief location, so basically dual knives, dual blades, whatever you want to call it, and just attacking the dragon constantly with the base attack. And because it does require you to have the weak weapons, you're going to need some pawns to help you out, so definitely a mage to keep you healed up, and probably a fighter to distract the dragon, or maybe even the warrior to help cripple the dragon a bit. And it says online that a freeze build is also pretty good for this as well, to slow down the dragon, since I think I did get this to trigger once and the dragon was super slow whilst I was just slashing it with a basic carve attack, just like bashing the button. And early on I did actually get it to trigger, and sadly after that though I didn't really see it happen again. So it was better than nothing, but it was really cool to see that actually worked, and it would be a tactic that I'll probably use in the future when it comes to farming dragons with the crystals. But I took down the dragons the fun way, the way the game intended you to do, with just defeating them regularly. But that's a method that you can give a try for yourself if you want to farm the actual crystals for yourself. If you're running low, or you really need it to try and get another weapon that you're after, then just give it a try. And I think for me, because I've already done a bunch of farming with the other monsters as well, I didn't really want to go back to the start, since overall I'm fairly satisfied with the upgrades that I've got. And I'm going to show them off that I did right now when I got the final upgrades for my weapons as well as my pawn, my main pawn Galadriel, since I'm really happy with what she has right now. So my upgrades for my weapons aren't amazing, and arguably for my armor as well, but I did what I can, and I think the upgrades are pretty solid. I think I went for the ones that made sense for the weapons, but they could have been a bit more perfected in a way. But I think in terms of Galadriel as my sorcerer, I think her upgrades are perfect, whereas all the Elvim equipment that's been enhanced with, you know, the increased magic defense, and of course with the staff, even more magic. I mean, it has like 1170 base magic stat, as I mentioned before, because I managed to do that quite early on, and it's super strong. So I'm very happy with that. And I think that's pretty much all the grinding that I'm going to do to this point, since all that weapon and armor is like fully maxed out now. So I'm pretty happy, and I think it's a good time to reach the end of the game now. It's like a good point to just go over to that beam. However, I just noticed something just now when I was looking at my pawn Galadriel, and she's showing an indication of this but she is currently riddled with the dreaded dragon plague, and we can tell that she's got this because if we actually look at her, she's cowering, kind of like she's in pain or like discomfort. But if you look at her eyes, they are a big bold red color, so she is riddled with dragon's plague right now. I don't know if one of the other pawns had the dragon's plague and passed it on. Most likely that's the case, because it is contagious, sadly.
Is there no way to return things to how they were before?
So I think what I'm gonna do, we're gonna go to the nearest cliff to take care of this. Normally you would throw your pawn in the water, but yeah, this is a bit of a problem. So I'll see if I can get this to actually work. So if I go somewhere quite herb like Back Patel, it'll be interesting to see if this actually works. I know you can get the Medusa to kill your pawn quickly.
But are we safe here?
But yeah, I've only just noticed, like, I haven't really paid attention. So yeah, she's being very like bashful, like out of character in a way. So we're just gonna
one can see well into the distance from here.
we're gonna yeet her off the cliff, so let me just get more stamina. Let's see if this actually works.
The scenery of Batal is wondrous to behold.
Get back here. And then we're just gonna yeet her off. Like that. Alright. And then we're just gonna go back to this seafloor shrine. So, forfeit main pawn. If your main pawn becomes forfeit, you need only touch a riftstone to return him to your side. You cannot enter other covenants while other pawns, with your other pawns while your main pawn is forfeit. So yeah. But I heard online that if you eliminate the pawn that has the Dragon's Plague, it helps reset it. It stops the Dragon's Plague from spiraling out of control. Like, if it was during the base game, you would throw them into the brine, into the water, so that you don't have to deal with that pawn again. I think it gets rid of the Dragon's Plague as well. It's I'm only doing it now because I'm worried that if I do New Game Plus, that my pawn is gonna like kill people in my New Game Plus, which I don't really want. So let's see.
I happen to understand Elvish, Master.
Yeah.
I expect you'll find my talents useful.
Yeah, she's okay now.
I have a modest talent for spotting materials that can be used to...
Yeah, I'm not sure, like, which of the pawns gave it to my main pawn. Because, I was gonna say at one point I
am attentive and loyal, and prefer to remain by your side.
Yeah, I don't think these current pawns have it. It must have been one of the previous ones that gave it to Galadriel.
A troubling rumor has reached my ears, and methinks I ought to share it. 'Tis said there is an illness pawns can contract beyond the rift.
Yeah,
that
she's
inflicts
fine.
Unspeakable harm on those around them. As it progresses, the pawn gradually loses all self-control, and, in time, will even cease to heed the Arisen's commands.
So, yeah.
Well, we shall have to remain watchful, lest one of our company should start showing signs of this sickness.
That's basically a solution if your pawn or another pawn is contracted with the Dragon's Plague. You just gotta yeet it as soon as you can to stop it from causing consequences. But I think with the Unmoored World, I don't think Dragon Plague can happen because it's kind of like already end of the world. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think it works from what I saw online about the Dragon's Plague, because I was curious about that. But I think I'm all done, happy with everything, and just to show this off once again with my all my gear and stuff, if I go to equipment, All of it is powered up, and I forgot to mention this, but I decided, because I wasn't able to get enough of the crystals, I decided to just upgrade the Dragon's Breath weapon that I already had for
I must confess, I have the same feeling.
the Mystic
What are we to
Archer.
do?
So
Remember,
if I go over here, I wasn't able to get this bow for the Magic Archer, since I wasn't able to get enough of the crystals, which is fine, and I've only got 11 right now left, so
Draconic blood flew.
I think I did the right thing, because as you can see, everything's fully maxed out, and same with Galadriel, so I'm very happy that we managed it. It just would have been a lot more tricky, because we're currently on day 10,
Then I bid ye farewell.
and I don't know if I would have been able to actually like get everything I wanted unless I started from day 1 and did the whole thief bump and lifts tactic with, you know, stealing the Worm Life crystals from the dragons that we previously fought. So I think it's probably best if I just be like, meh, you know, because I'm happy with my current gear, you know. I don't mind that it's not 100% perfect, and you know, maybe if I do New Game Plus, I'll get enough points to get the stronger Magic Archer bow, you know? Because I'll probably be able to get it eventually. But we're all done with everything else, with the grinding. That's all I wanted to talk about. It's time to check out this final beam and witness the end of Dragon's Dogma 2 for the true ending. We are ready. So, the Godsbane blade is responding. Draw the blade. Oh my god. Yeah, credits. See? End of the game. That's crazy. Oh, they became a dragon spirit? Oh, dang.
Master!
Boss. Yes, take me to the dragon. Crazy. Oh, thank you, Galadriel. So same as before then, right? Ah, it's glowing.
Worlds uncountable created, only to be snuffed out like candles by the cold breath of oblivion. Eventually, the Great Will tired of witnessing this. It sought to overturn oblivion by granting unto it a role, a duty, an identity. I speak of the dragon. By the Great Will does the dragon create a cycle, allowing it to forestall the end of this world time and time again. Yes, Snipezy, this world has been safeguarded by the dragon all along.
Oh, that's crazy.
You yourself were were chosen to form a part of this cycle. The Arisen is selected by the Great Will to play the role of the dragon's counterpart.
What the heck is going on?
That is how this world is built. The dragon serves to continue the cycle, and the Arisen exists to oppose it. This is the true meaning of the dragon's life.
Oh no.
Once, everyone in this world had a role to play. For a well-crafted tale has no excess. There must be a reason for each character's inclusion. Yet, this means that should even one of these characters stray from their assigned role, the tale entire will unravel. And if it does, their world will
Oh my god, it's the Brime. Ah!
such is the choice you have made.
Ew. Get them tentacles away from me.
You have robbed all others of the chance to fulfill the roles they must. Pawns are no exception. Born of the nothingness of life, they grant the role of aiding in the perpetuation of the cycle.
Oh.
Yet, bereft of the dragon, that role has been unwritten.
So what pawns were made to cause this cycle? With the Unmoored World? Oh, nice. I think this is a really cool way to do the credits as well. This is awesome.
Clear to me now, Arisen. I am no longer a mere vessel. Your great will has imbued me with a lesser will of my own. Will is power. 'Tis the means to shape the world as one desires.
Oh.
Master!
Oblivion fades. This tale's end has been unwritten. My heart, it aches.
So wait, was the Pathfinder like a dragon all along or something?
A new world comes. A new tale is set to unfold. Yet, it seems I will not be there to watch it.
Wait, well. Ah, there we go. Ah, here we go. Closure. Experience the end of the cycle. Yeah, so we done it. Things are back to normal. So, what, Svenny's gonna be the king then? Grow his mother? Oh yeah. Wilhelmia. We helped her out. Melv. Is Melv okay now then? Because they got screwed over from the Unmoored World. I never actually checked out Melv properly. After that went down. And they planted the alder tree. From the sacred alder. Alder breath, whatever it was called. That's Hugo. He got his job in the Rose Chateau. Brocker's Forge. Pretty much did everything. Crazy. And Milena, is it? Milena? Baron. Funny that I got the most affinity with her compared to everyone else. I probably should have gave someone else more roses or something. Your dearest friends, yeah, Sarah. Ragdoll, I spared his life. Klaus. Oh, right. Your stalwart allies. Sphinx Baron. Mr. Beast, oh yeah. Tank, I remember Tank. Your main pawn, Galadriel. Your journey lasted 330 days, nearly a year. That is crazy. Crazy. In-game it means, of course. 330 days. But, yeah, to share my thoughts about the game. So, I think overall the game is pretty fun. It's pretty cool to play a game like this with how it functions. The strongest points are definitely the combat with the different locations that you can choose from. The fact that you can easily change them and upgrade them as you go, like going from a fighter to a mage to a thief. They're all so unique, and I like how they intertwine with each other as well. Like when you get the other locations, the stronger ones, like the magic archer, the mystic spear hands, they were so fun to play as. I really enjoyed them, and I think mystic spear hand is probably my personal favorite. And when I go through New Game Plus, I'm probably gonna have that as like my go-to class when I'm playing through to get to the other achievement that I sadly missed out on. But it's fine, I don't mind going back to play through it just to get the platinum achievement, because I'll be showing it off for you guys at the end as well. Just to like show off the difference between that ending and this one, because this is like the definitive ending of the game where we break the, we reset the cycle, if you will. Took care of the Unmoored world, stop it from taking over the world, yeah. I think with that said though, there were some parts of the story that were like frustrating, and I said this before, like Disa, like that felt like such a throwaway with the story. It's like we heard a little bit about her at the beginning, like, oh, she's such a, she's a problem to the kingdom and everything, and then as soon as the false sovereign and the Lord faces were introduced, it's like, oh, forget the Queen, focus on them now. It's like, oh, okay. It felt a bit strange, and I think some of the story didn't really quite pay off as I hoped. Like, I did enjoy that the stakes grew and grew and grew and grew, you know, like the threat got bigger and bigger as it went. But I think in terms of like how the plot went through, it was a little bit lacking in my opinion. It wasn't amazing, it was a little bit convoluted, and especially when you got the main quests along with all these other quests that you're doing at the same time, it gets lost in the shuffle in my opinion. And speaking of the quests, they were actually pretty fun with the other characters. I enjoyed them the most compared to the main story, like making our allies and friends, like with getting the powerful maester skills and the new locations along the way as well. I enjoyed those. Doing the quests in the main town, I think we did all of them, all of the quests, because I even looked through the list and I couldn't find one that I didn't do. So we pretty much just did everything, and they were pretty fun. And I like that they have different outcomes as well, so that you can go back and as well, you know, if you do want to see the other outcomes and you didn't save scum with the in saves, you can just go back on New Game Plus and see what's different with the other outcomes for yourself, which is pretty cool. Or you can just play through them, you know, or you can even just change things up with the New Game Plus, be even more powerful, play it on hard mode or something. And other than that, in terms of the game, the voice work was incredible. I think it was really good. I enjoyed it. Definitely my kind of vibe. And the music, pretty fun when the battle, you know, like the dragons showed up and the music got really intense, and the big monsters, like the big fights for them, they were pretty good with the music as well and everything. And then back to the negative. But I think aside from the story though, I think the other thing that lets the game down quite a bit, and I think a lot of people said this at the time that the game released, is that the way the game saves and makes the saves is, I think, very frustrating. I think they should have just done a save system similar to the likes of Oblivion or Skyrim, with like manual saves, to stop, you know, to stop having problems with certain things, you know? A boat. Where's he sailing off to? He was the guy in Half Village. Oh. No threat. Oh yeah, I guess the seafloor shrine is gone now. So maybe that means it's like all done. Wow, nearly 80 hours. Enemies felled 3,573. Oh my god. Times fallen 5, because there's a really good trick that you can do in the game, and I found this out early, is that you can heal yourself when your health gauge is 0, and as long as you don't hit the floor, you won't die and you won't need to use the wake stone on yourself. So times fallen. Oh, and I guess as well that means like resets, like if I had to do a retry and I was like, nah. Yeah, that makes sense. And Eternal Wake Stone, I did the whole save scum method that I mentioned before, even though I did get the achievement, so I didn't technically need to use the Eternal Wake Stone. So yeah, pretty happy with that. We did very well, level 68. Not quite 69, but it'll do. Yeah, and I think the ending could have been a bit better as well. Oh, I love that. Dragon's Dogma 2, and it's back to the town stuff. Oh, I love that. That's cool. Because before it was just Dragon's Dogma, and I love that about the game, where it had Dragon's Dogma at the start of the game, and the menu was Dragon's Dogma, as we saw a couple times. But then when you reach the unmoored world, it's like, no, this is Dragon's Dogma 2. It's like changing the story based off the original, because I believe Dragon's Dogma 2, this game, is almost like a reinterpretation of Dragon's Dogma, like the first game, like a retelling of the story of that game. So it's not really like a sequel. It's like a reimagining, I guess, like a retelling of that story in a different narrative, I guess, or where things are like slightly different, but you know, same sort of world in a way. But other than that, I think that was pretty much everything that I wanted to mention about the game. And yeah, I just find that really cool that they did that with the menu. The unmoored world as well, I think that was such a nice feature that they included. And the only problem is though, is that if you didn't know about this beforehand with like looking it up, then it's like, oh, I could have done this and I missed out on it. So that is another thing that's quite frustrating about the game. It's like, there's a lot of things that you have to find out for yourself. Like, you know, the game doesn't really tell you certain things. And it's like trial and error. Then it's like, oh, so this person died, I need to bring them back to life. You know, that kind of thing. There's certain aspects of the game that are cool, but they're also frustrating for it. Like when NPCs die, and you need to bring them back to life to progress quest lines and things of that nature. There is a lot of frustrations around that. And yeah, there are things they could have done to kind of like improve on that. And just the fact that the materials for those features, for those mechanics, are so limited because they're behind the paywalls and like the pay to win features, and it's like, oh, they could have done something different instead of just trying to get money off people. Like, you know, I think they needed to rethink about certain things, because I think the game suffered from it. But other than that, the game is still great to say. I don't want to bash the game to its entirety. Like I said, I thoroughly enjoy the gameplay and the combat. It's just really, really engaging. I fully enjoy it. If there was a multiplayer game like Dragon's Dogma 2, or even if this game had multiplayer, it'd be really cool to play. It'd be really fun, just like going around slaying monsters with your friends and stuff. It'd be so much fun, especially with like the different locations. You can just have like a party of different locations together playing with you, like your friends, or even just the same locations and having a pawn with you for support, kind of like Monster Hunter kind of vibe. That'd be pretty cool. And similar thing, because Capcom, same company. But yeah, I think with Dragon's Dogma 2, I think they needed a little more time on the game, which is a shame because Dragon's Dogma is like quite an older game, the original, and you know, it's been a really long time, like over 10 years, and it's a little bit of a shame that the game wasn't greater. But I think Dragon's Dogma 2, I think it's still a good game. I'd give it like a 6 out of 10. It's okay, it's fun, it's a good game, but there are definitely areas that are lacking. Maybe even a 5 actually, maybe even a 5 or some things. Like, I mean, the whole thing where I missed an entire quest line because I advanced Act 1, like that was really frustrating. But because I was willing to do it and I enjoyed the game, I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'm not too far into the game. Let's just start a new save. You know, it's that kind of thing where, you know, they could have done things differently, like having multiple saves for multiple characters, like what Oblivion and Skyrim do. I think this game would have benefited heavily from that. Like, they should have gone down that avenue instead of making the basic autosave and last in save system. I think it limited the game too much with that, and players didn't really like that about the game. You know, like restart game with current level and equipment, new game, you know. But before this actually happened, all we had was load game from last autosave and load game from last in save. The in save was handy if you wanted to get yourself out of a pickle, or if you made mistakes on certain quest lines, then you could go back, but you could accidentally lose a lot of progress from that. So, you know, you got to be careful with the saves in the game, and I think it's just frustrating that the game is like that. That's the only negatives I can think of, really. Everything else about the game is fun, and I think it's worth giving a try. And if you want to take it seriously with the quest lines and everything, then I'd definitely recommend looking at guides online if you are happy to do so. Just like follow through the guides to see the different outcomes for quests, or going for the best options, or even if you want to do like what I do and just complete the game to its entirety, since I was willing to do it. And you know, I've had my eye on this game for a long time. I was very tempted to get this game close to release, but I gave it some time to think, you know. But I was like, I will play Dragon's Dogma 2 one day. It looks like a really fun game that I'd love to play one day, and I'm actually really glad that I did, because again, I want to get platinum. I really want to get platinum for this game. And if I have a look at the trophies, I only need that one, Become Sovereign of Thurnwith, which basically means I need to get the normal ending for the game, and I'm going to do it because I want to. You know what I mean? So let's have a look. So restart game with current level and equipment. This is the New Game Plus. I'm going to show this off before I go into the whole normal ending stuff. So this says here, this will allow you to carry your game data over to a new playthrough. You will retain your current level and skills and the items in your inventory, with the exception of certain important quest items, like key items. Items will be sent to your storage. And let's see. Must reach ending to change to normal mode. Oh yeah, trophies excluded to this mode too. Yeah. So it'll be normal for me. Oh yeah, I think I remember when we had that for the game quite a while ago. But I guess there is casual mode as well, if that is more up your alley, if you'd enjoy that more, you know, with like playing the game and whatnot. But the New Game Plus, the way it works is you can like keep everything as it is.
No need to be shy.
And
I've just got to take down a record of your name and face. Come on, step forward.
I'm pretty certain that like nearly everything carries over.
I recognized you.
Yeah. Use existing character data. Yeah, that's fine. Haha, that's pretty cool. So if you do want to change anything, then you know you can do so. I think this time I will pick fighter though, because I never gave it a chance. But since I got the strong armor, I'll go for it. Yeah, that works. So I'll keep my character looking how he is, you know, just for the sake of whatever. I could have kept it the same with the very first save that I did, but I think this looks a bit similar to what I look compared to the first character that I made. I think that's the moniker that I had before, apparently it was. Yeah. And then change the age. There we go. And as well, your main pawn data carries over as well.
Worry not. Come along, you
So if I go to status, yeah, we got the same level and everything. And all of our progress on the locations. Oh, I maxed out Warfare. I didn't notice that. Yeah, and we don't have my gear at the minute, but we will. We will.
It's not my duty.
But we'll do a little bit of this. Not loads though. Not loads. Yeah, it's crazy coming back to here. Oh, and I still got the markers. I can... Oh, my bad. Also, the map is fully filled out now. So, it's no longer, like, grey. At all. I love that the game does that. I remember hearing about it and I said, oh yeah, that's... You know, that's such a good feature. Like, it's totally clear. We can see the entire map now. I love that. Because we more or less looked at everything. I think the only thing that's missing is, like, obviously the places that I didn't explore. Because I know there's, like, a cave over there that I didn't check out. Whilst I was looking at certain information, like the tokens, the Seeker's tokens, there's, like, a cave near that path. That's early on in the game. But yeah, we keep our level, we keep our equipment, port crystals as well. The only thing that we lose, of course, is key items. I think we keep all of our gold as well. Yeah, I've even got my RC points. I've got 8,800. And then gold, I've got 9,000. Not too much because I spent it all on upgrades. But we'll be getting it all back. But yeah. Just gotta get through this first section. But I'm hoping we'll soon get to that point where we can, like, get our gear. It probably won't take too long. It's going to be interesting playing this game being overpowered, but for this playthrough, I'm gonna just try and rush it to get to the normal ending, since, you know, I've already done everything in the game for you guys with, like, all the quest lines and whatnot, so, you know, I'm not going to do everything again like that. That'd be a bit psychotic. So I'm just gonna rush to get to the end, and if I really wanted, I could probably do, like, New Game Plus Plus, if that's even a thing. I'm guessing you can do that. I'm guessing New Game Plus Plus is an actual thing. Where them rocks at? Oh, lantern. But yeah, I'm just gonna, like, for this playthrough, just get the normal ending, because I'm pretty sure you can do it if you just focus on the main story. Probably just do the same things that I did before. Like, in terms of, like, the main story. Apart from the last section with the dragon. I don't know how you get the bad ending, to be honest. I'd have to look into it, but the only difference will be when I ride the dragon, I have to wait. Like, for the normal ending, you don't use the Godsbane blade.
That's enough.
Right. Oh, I got the skill. Nice. Eat that.
Shields offer welcome protection from attacks.
Yeah, well, we got the shields. Oh, nice. Yeah, we did enough damage to it. That's fine.
Come this way. Let us flee.
Flee.
You must jump. That is the only path.
I wonder if I have to unlock all the locations, though. That's the only thing I'm thinking now. If that is the case, then that would be a little bit annoying. If I have to unlock all the locations again. I hope they don't do that. I hope we get access to them. But I'd have to check when we get to the camp.
A griffin appears. Was it you then? 'Tis a wonder you survived.
Alright, just in with 2 ends.
Where
Take
exactly is
us.
this jail you say you escaped from, anyway? I've never heard of such a place. There's certainly naught like. Where are you going?
I feel like a
I'll not
pro.
force you to receive treatment, but I'd at least like a word.
Yeah. You're just too slow. Oh, goblins.
Fine! Goblins! Let's take up your weapons, sir. We'll be needing it.
There you
There are
go.
oft items to be scavenged from the bodies of monsters and their ilk.
Also, again, I just love this feature that the characters that are fighters, they hold the handle of their sword like that.
I've not.
It's just such a nice feature.
All I know for sure is that 'tis a beast e'er more fearsome than a griffin. One who doesn't look to the miserable state of living on earth. Can but hope that the sovereign will rid us of its airlock.
Yeah, we're just destroying them. Because we are overpowered. Yep. I'm gonna just have the exact same. Mage.
The people here are evacuated and safe for the moment.
Yeah, I think I was the exact same. Same with the makeup. Yes, I'm happy with that. Yes. There she is. Back again.
Well, I'll be. You truly are the. Surely there's only. The Watchhead would know. I suppose we'll save any further.
Imagine if I
Mayhap you could make. The Arisen is said to be.
if I didn't take care of that dragon's plague. I wonder if she would still had it or not. That'd be interesting.
I'd hasten home.
Hail, Arisen. Pray, very well.
Nah, we're good. Alright. Go over here.
Boy, my pa always used to. Aye, being armed. You should stop by the inn in Melve if you get the chance.
We must rest, though the
Oh yeah, we probably won't be able to change our location until we get to the town, right? Oh, hello. What's this? Uh-huh. Alright, nothing of, no.
return safe.
Cool.
Now we've the vim to tackle the day ahead.
I've beds to spare if you're looking for lodgings. And if you'd
Ah.
like to change your vocation, come see me anytime.
Yeah, we can. Yes, we have access to everything. I love that. Yes. Oh my gosh, we have access to everything. That is so good. So, of course, we have to grab it all. Where is that other? There we go. Alright, and then just have to set all those up. Yeah, I think those would be good ones to have to help maintain stamina, since Seal reduces the stamina consumed while performing a weapon skill, and then reduces the amount by which weight affects your movement speed, augments defense, so basically makes your physical defense a lot better, so you can take hits, increases maximum stamina. I think that's pretty good. So yeah, pretty happy with them. And then we're going to change you to Sorcerer. Oh, sorry, my bad. I grabbed the wrong person. Remove, give to you. There you go. There's your hats. And that's yours. And the cape. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was yours. And then I had that one. Oh yeah, and the rings. There we go. I could give that one a try. Let's see. Less likely to be knocked down. Yeah. And then I'll increase magic for the Mystic Archer.
Always a pleasure.
Ah, nice. Look at that. I'll unequip the cape for now, but I like to keep hold of it in case I change my mind. Oh wow, and we have this. Ooh. I love that we actually keep the sword now. It'll probably make that entire quest go by a lot quicker now. You know, when it comes to... Maybe we skip that whole section where it's like, oh, you don't need this. There we go. And then let's just very quickly go over all that stuff there. Like 2 of each, as I usually do. So that we are prepared for anything. And so we'll keep hold of some dried meat to cook in case I need it. And we still got our fairy stone and port crystals, so I've been making good use of those and then just like buying the stuff that I need. So I'll probably take one of those with me.
You'd like to change your vocation? Always a pleasure.
I'm actually going to ask you to carry that for me. And then I'll keep hold of the port crystal. Because I'm thinking maybe put a port crystal in Melv, and then maybe like one over there somewhere. But you know, not super important. But yeah. Oh, I need lantern stuff, don't I?
I've beds to spare if you're looking for lodgings.
That's the only thing I forgot.
And if you'd like to change your
Yeah.
vocation, comes.
Oh yeah, and of course, keep the fairy stone. But yeah, as I said previously, and it's kind of obvious, but sadly with the port crystals, we have to set them up again with like where they go.
See me anytime. Do come again.
Which is a little bit frustrating, but it's like, okay, I guess that makes sense. But at least the map is fully cleared up now. We can see everything, totally cleared up. Like it's a proper map now. There's no black spots anywhere where it's like, oh, what's hiding here? You know, we can fully see the map, which is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful.
I'd hasten home.
Oh, and I need to make sure that I got everything equipped. Yeah.
But that's not my duty.
The only thing I didn't equip was that other
I've
thing.
beds to spare if you're looking for lodgings.
And of course, like the other pawns that you have in your party, you know, they aren't with you anymore, so you know, you'll probably want to have to grab them again. That was it. Yeah, I forgot to put that in storage.
You'd like to change.
But I think that's everything that I need with me. Can't think of anything else. I have a lot of lanterns. Yeah, I'll sort that out later. So I'll only keep hold of one port crystal for now. But everything else I'm happy with.
Location, come see me anytime. Do come again.
Same skills and everything. Yeah, it remembers. Oh, does it remember Galadriel's though?
I've beds to spare if you're looking for lodgings.
That's what I need to double check. Yeah. I need to do those. Alright, so Maelstrom. The Flare. And, where is it? High Frigor. Yeah, I think they're pretty good. So, increases the likelihood of inflicting debilitations, reduces the rate at which items deteriorate. I'll change that one. Augments your knockdown resistance, increases damage dealt when exploiting a hostile target's elemental weakness, augments magic. Increases the amount of health recovered by curatives. Stamina recovery. Yeah, I think that would be good actually.
And if you'd like to change your vocation, come see me anytime. Do come again.
Yeah.
I am honored, Master. This Maester's teaching is a precious gift. I swear I shall make good use of it.
So yeah, if we look at this over here, it's got all of her skills again now. Wonderful, the Maester teachings as well. So that's pretty much everything, and we can make a save there now that's all done. So I think that's everything, because like as you can see, everything's carried over. All of our money, all of our gear, all of our levels, all of our skills, which is amazing. And look at that.
Promising. Any ideas as to how we might reach it?
Yeah, and she's not riddled with Dragon's Plague anymore from the looks of it, which is wonderful.
Arisen. I should have expected you may yet linger here.
Oh. And let me test that out, because there's a feature with the pawns. I wonder if it will remember. So if I go to search, previously hired. Yeah, these look like the ones. So when they show up, I can just hire them.
Hail Arisen! 'Tis plain you've been training diligently in my absence. An unexpected reunion.
Oh, I love that they remember. And then let's go for the other one, because she was pretty good. Oh, no, not that one. Oopsie. Didn't mean to show the PlayStation profile.
'Tis an honor to see you again, Arisen.
Aww.
I'm well glad to be traveling by your side again.
Love it. So they're not gone forever. You can just easily grab them again from...
A visit to Melve might jog your memory, Master. It seems the village yet reels from the dragon's assault.
And, oh yeah, they're gonna give lots of helpful advice, because, you know, all the pawn stuff. But,
I shall guide you to the location.
Hail. We've had to start... Is that... Lachlan. Aye. Ricardo. What? This is the first army... Say, you seem stout of heart. Would you... You've my thanks.
We must fly to the aid of those in need.
there we go. Now it's switched to that. Awesome. And maybe whilst I'm gone, I mean, maybe because the Warfare location is fully maxed out, I may try the other ones, but passively I'll be able to level up the other, you know, locations, so maybe I'll give Fighter a chance. I think I'd like to do that since I have like the really cool gear.
I just recalled, I found a treasure chest near here during my travels beyond the rift. May I show you to its
Yeah,
location?
if we look at the map, it's like fully carved out, fully mapped out. No stones unturned.
Who are you? You come to aid me?
Quickly, Arisen, you must regain your footing.
Oh yeah, they're like dead to weak, aren't they?
Let my magics grant you an elemental boon.
I don't know where he went. Oh, there he is.
I've only just enlisted. You saved me this. Well, I'd best be...
Shall we report our results?
I pretty much chose the best ornaments to fully sprint around without consuming loads of stamina. Because we're lightweight, we got a lot of extra stamina and reduced stamina consumption when we sprint, so yeah.
We've got goblins.
Hail, friend. Aye, that it was. Was a bit too early. We'll be extending his...
Speaking of...
Yeah. That was pretty funny. And they're just fighting the goblins. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it here for now. But what we're going to do is we're going to skip over to the normal ending of the game. Okay, so we are back, and this didn't really take me too long to get back to this part. I've literally skipped through the story because I haven't done that many quests in the game. It took me a couple of hours to get back, probably about, I want to say, 7 hours roughly, give or take. Something else I tested out in New Game Plus was the fight that we had with the Referendum of Calamity, because I mentioned this at some point that I decided to do the Ulrika romance questline thing again, and I wanted to test if you could actually steal the crystals from the dragon that spawns in Melv, and you actually can steal crystals from it. And what was funny was that I actually managed to steal a weapon from this dragon as well. And it's the Mystic Spearhand Spear that you get when you actually defeat this dragon when you're with Sigurd later in the main story. And I just found that pretty funny, that if you just hit it with the thief with bump and lift, it'll just give you the weapon for free. Because it's like one of the strongest weapons until you get to the end game. So I think that's awesome that it gives you a free weapon. But yeah, I just thought I'd mention that, you know, if you are going through the game and you want to get more worm life crystals, you want to farm for them, it's a good thing to go to the trouble of just, you know, equipping either the Warfarer with the Thieves' daggers, or just play as the Thief location to steal some of the crystals, or if you're lucky enough, get the weapon like I did. But yeah, that's just a fun little thing that I thought I'd include. I think the game would have benefited if they focused more on the storytelling, because in fairness, the lore of the game is pretty fascinating, and I was reading up some things about the story of Dragon's Dogma and some things that explain certain stuff from Dragon's Dogma 1 and how it connects to Dragon's Dogma 2, you know, how the lore overlaps with each other. And I'll talk about some of it and, you know, what the ending means and stuff like that with the true ending, because I was kind of like under the impression that we broke the cycle from continuing, and I was pretty much right on that. In very basic terms, is that the true ending is we're breaking the cycle of the whole Dragon's Dogma, with the Arisen becoming the sovereign, you know, watching over the throne, and then Raphaeus, he was the one who said, well, no, I don't want to be replaced as, you know, I don't want another Arisen to replace my spot. He didn't agree with the cycle. So he betted on us, the Arisen, to be like, well, I believe you have the power to break the cycle, which is why he gave us the Godsbane sword, which is what he created with his sword. Because he had faith in us, since, you know, we didn't really know much about the God's Way and things like that, you know, the new God's Way and all that. So he bet his life on us. No pressure, right? He bet his life on us to be like, well, I want you to break the cycle to hopefully, you know, put a stop to the Making One, who's basically like the god of the world, to stop the Making One from creating this cycle of the Arisen and the dragons taking the Arisen's heart, and, you know, the Arisen having to kill their dragon, as well as pawns having to obey to the will of the Arisen to help them fight back against the dragon. But the Making One has caused this constant cycle of, you know, being stuck in this world where, you know, it's just people becoming the Arisen from the dragon, stealing a heart, killing the dragon, and then taking up the throne. And then Raphaeus was like, well, no, I don't want to do that. And he is basically the Seneschal from Dragon's Dogma 1, the explanation of that. But that's like a quick sort of synopsis on things, really, on like some of the plot to help explain certain details about it. But with the Unmold Worlds, that's basically when the Brime takes over the worlds and just consumes it. Because we went against the grain, we didn't fight Raphaeus or anything like that, and we didn't slay our dragon, we sacrificed ourselves with the Godsbane sword. in an attempt to eliminate the rhyme and to stop the making one from carrying on the cycle, to break the cycle. So we're going to be doing the normal ending, which is pretty much like, oh, we become the sovereign of the throne as the Arisen, because we didn't actually do that ending first time around, when, you know, I should have. I should have been paying more attention when I was looking up information, but hey ho. I mean, you know, we make mistakes. And basically what Lord Phasis is trying to doing, he believes that if he is able to control the dragon, he'll be able to stop the cycle from carrying on, from like the dragon's dogma from happening over and over and over, so that, you know, they wouldn't steal the hearts of the Arisen, where they have to take down the dragon that stole their heart. And basically, you know, the dragon that forced them to become the Arisen. So yeah. But it turns out it didn't really work, because as we know, the dragon is like, oh, you fool. And I'm also playing as the Mystic Spear hand. But yeah, the lore for the game is very fascinating. But I think the game just has not amazing storytelling with like how they executed it. I think it could have been better, in my opinion.
Efforts are for naught, Arisen.
But yeah, he realizes after this, it's like he can't really.
Simply watch as this world's hollow and fruitless order is remade.
Yeah, because he wants to come up with a different solution to break the cycle. Yeah, for the order.
The dragon comes.
So he summons the dragon to try and control it, but you know, it doesn't work.
Behold, the Royce dragon.
Yeah.
By my power, the dogma of dragons is unmade.
But that's not the dragon. It's the other one that comes down.
You could ne'er understand, Arisen.
Because we see the massive dragon come down in a bit.
We must all be freed from the vulgar order wherein the dragon's existence determines all.
Yeah, and that's the Rose dragon, right? The Royce dragon, whatever. The one that took our heart and made us an Arisen. The dragon that we have to slay. And I think this is the dragon that causes all of the Arisen to become Arisen. You know? Because we start off as normal, like a normal person, and then the dragon causes us to become the Arisen.
It was not enough. Cursed Arisen. You've doomed us all to the cycle.
Yeah, so he's basically saying, well, the cycle's just going to carry on. That's what he basically said.
Greetings, Arisen. Hast thou summoned the resolution to face me? Then answer me this. Why dost thou fight?
It's Grant. Oh, Brant, sorry. Grant, what am I saying? Captain Brant.
Or is it to reclaim thy throne? I offer thee a choice. Grant unto me this life in my claws, and be gone from this place. Or stand and fight. Pitiable Arisen. The time for thou to make thy choice is come. Show me the path thou wouldst walk.
I was hoping that our favourite character would be Ulrika.
And thou shalt live to claim thy coveted throne.
But I noticed when I was playing the game that Bran had like blushing cheeks, so I was like, oh okay, so he likes us a lot. It was kind of funny, but yeah. I was hoping it was Ulrika because I did the whole romance quest as well. But now the game's like, oh, you like Bran the most. Yep. Alright, we get it. So to close the normal ending, we have to stay on the Dragon's Back. Which I should have done first time because I would have had the chance to do the true ending if I looked it up. But it's fine.
We must fulfill our charges. I as the dragon, and thou as the Arisen. Time upon me. We shall depart for our true battlefield.
Yeah, so he takes us to the battlefield. And then the true ending is like you use the Godsbane sword to sacrifice yourself.
Thou wishest to dismantle
with the power that Raphias gave us.
Yet dost thou know what awaiteth the world, should it meet such a fate?
I'm just gonna get a bit further down. Vacuous.
Bereft of the cycle, naught would be born into its safe chaos, great and terrible. Surviving in such a world would be no simple matter. The world shall not change with my death, nor shall it change with thine. Consider, Arisen, how it is thou came to be here. How have the once closed paths before thee come to be cleared? Think well, Arisen, but rest not. I will know thine answer through the strength of thy will. Thou shalt cut a swathe through the false benevolence enshrouding this world. Arisen, pitiable soul tossed by the winds of fate. Wilt thou slay me, or be slain? I know not how this story endeth. The outcome was determined in a time before reckoning. And yet, Arisen, born of a hapless faith though it may be, perchance 'tis thy will, and thine alone, that couldst contest the great will of this world.
There we go. We've done it.
Thou art too late. The hour is upon us. We must decide a victor, and in so doing, form a link in the chain that bindeth this wheel. Tell me, Arisen, what is thy desire?
To slay you.
Is it to slay the dragon, thereby delivering the world from darkness? Dost thou merely seek conflict with my
Let's do it.
Be sure to give his breath a wide berth. He bathes carefully.
even our battle here was ordained.
beginning.
Thou not fearful, but formidable resolve.
Where even am I? Oh, there. We.
Art thou
Yep.
content to fall here arisen?
That giant ballista up on the cliff is just begging to be used.
Okay.
Means to reach it.
Well, the quickest way would be to grab hold of the dragon and wait for it to take wing.
Yeah.
Allow me. I would gladly be of aid.
Am I high enough? What is he doing?
Of course.
Oh, turn it.
Quick! Douse the flames!
Fret not. I'll make the pain go away. Best keep still a moment.
Where's he gone?
This spell will empower elemental magic.
I swear to God. Oh, this dragon.
Strike the exposed heart!
Yeah, well, I would if I could.
Evade its fiery breath and strike ere it recovers.
There we go. Oh, I should have had more stamina stuff with me. I have like no stamina stuff. None. Oh my gosh. The whole health. Oh, that's so annoying.
You want to give its breath a wide berth. Evade its heaven. Then watch for an opening to strike.
Oh.
Fear not. You're safe with me.
Amuse me, demonstrate thy will.
Protocol balance we have to lay bare its vulnerabilities. Mayhap we can try climbing onto its back.
my god.
Not even the dragon has eyes in the back of his skull. Avoid its line of sight and unleash your attacks ere it finds you.
I shall draw its focus.
You would not like to survive its magics unscathed. Watch for them carefully and avoid them as best you can.
Understood.
These weapons terrify me. The Earth prime chance to counterattack. Leave this to me. I'll distract it.
Hang in there, Master. I am coming to assist.
Amuse me. Demonstrate thy will.
You know what? Let's use something else. That's
I shall draw its focus. Now, Master! Give no quarter! Focus your attacks on its heart!
Stilling its pulse is no mean feat, but it can be done.
It's not like that. Strike now.
Come this far. I'm not falling.
and let's use this.
There is no turning back! We must press on!
There is no turning back on the path of
Not far to go now! Keep your focus!
Oh my
I
goodness.
shall draw its focus!
Come, Arisen.
Caught you!
Oh.
Hang in there, Master! I am coming to assist! Evade its fiery breath, and strike ere it recovers!
Oh. Here we go. There we go. Pivots. Could have gone a bit better, but it's fine. Slayed the dragon.
Alas, I am slain. But heed this, Arisen. My will alone doth the world form a ring, an unending cycle. All is preordained, even my death at thine hands. Yet perhaps thy will is great enough to put an end to it.
Yeah, so that's the credits. Because we become sovereign. We reclaim the throne. Rightfully so. Oh my gosh. The land is free of the dragon. Uh-huh. Yes. Oh, it's the start of the game, right? So it's us. Yeah, I remember this now from the start of the game. And then something bad happens. Or at least this was supposed to happen at the start of the game. Until it went all wrong. Yeah, look, everyone's still here for me. They're like, yes, well done. You reclaimed the throne, slayed the dragon. And then this guy is over here.
Why do you pursue me, Arisen? You have fulfilled your charge. Are you not satisfied? Seek you greater status? Perhaps to rule the world entire? Tis power you desire, you need merely spy out the path.
Your choice is thine, Arisen. By thy will alone can the course of the winners of fate be altered.
Yeah. So that's basically saying that we can change the past, you know? We can change things. But we're doing this with a normal ending, so let's sit on the throne. We should get Platinum Trophy after this. We're just sat on the throne. Oh, wait, where are you going? Where are you going? What are you doing? Where are you going? What are you doing? What? What's that?
You would still resist your fate. Understand you the folly of such a decision. Even the beating of your reclaimed heart was born of the great will of this world. Yet you would abandon it.
It looks so fancy as well. I have to say that.
Everything in this world, all that you have come to know as reality, is the creation of the great will. Should that will be lost, no mortal being can survive. However, if regret yet assails your spirit, then perhaps you should reaffirm your choice. Witness with your own eyes, or through the eyes of another, the fate of this world.
Oh yeah, so it's going to show the unmoored world, right?
Thou wishest to dismantle the world's will, just as I do. Yet dost thou know what awaiteth the world, should it meet such a fate? 'Twould become
So I'm going to have to fight the dragon again, but it's fine.
vacuous thing.
But it gives you another chance to, you know, get the true ending if you really want. Alright, so we're back just to get the achievement, but if you want to reattempt the dragon fight or to get the true ending, you can speak to the Pathfinder, but people are saying online that you can still do it if you use the last in save. If you made a save before you fought the dragon, like in the excavation site, if you use the bed, you can or you know, you can just like reload that save and be like, oh yeah, let's go do it again. But you can still do New Game Plus and whatnot if you do the normal ending, so yeah. And like I said, you'll have the chance to do the true ending if you do what I did before and speak to the Pathfinder and be like, oh yeah, let's retry it, and then, you know, you're on the dragon's back again, it takes you back to it, and then you can use the sword. But in order to actually get the achievement, you have to be sat on the throne when the credits end, so yeah, we just got to stay here and watch our disciples. But yeah, I think I have a new appreciation now that I understand more of the lore a bit with Dragon's Dogma and stuff, and I better understand what the ending means. But I got the general gist of it with like this, you know, we broke the cycle, we stopped the cycle from happening again with Dragon's Dogma and the dragon sailing in the heart of the Arisen. In the true ending with the unmoored world, we put things as they should be. But yeah, the Pathfinder was like, oh, you know, you can still change fate, blah blah blah. Because I think the Pathfinder is kind of like a representation of the making one or something. It's very interesting. There we go. Yay, we got peace and platinum. That's what that sound means. The true Arisen. And I'll show that off after. There we go. Dragon's Dogma 2. The restart game with current level and equipment, or you can load from last save or load from last in save. So, you know, if you want to do it again, you can do so. And yeah, we can restart game with current level and equipment if I really wanted. So yeah, just to show that off, that if you do want to get the true ending, like I should have done this ending first, the normal ending with the throne, and then go back to do the true ending. So, you know, I should have just trusted what the information said online instead of just jumping to the true ending, because I didn't actually think I'd missed an achievement, but hey ho, I did. And I'll show off the platinum. So there we are, Dragon's Dogma 2 100% complete. The true Arisen collected all others collected all other Dragon Dogs. I can't even talk. Collected all other Dragon's Dogma 2 trophies not available in casual mode, because basically with the whole casual mode thing, you're not able to do the unmoored ending, I believe. If I just like go for the closure, experience the end of the cycle, so we missed out on those trophies if we did do casual mode. You know, if you don't want to have the game be too difficult, you know, I highly recommend doing casual if you'd rather enjoy the game and not be frustrated with it, because I did have a moment where I was like, oh my god. That's the platinum. Love it. There it is. It's it's such a pretty sound as well when you get the platinum trophy. I love it. Lovely. So we did it. We fully completed Dragon's Dogma 2. Oh my gosh, I didn't actually think I'd be able to do it, but here we are. I'm very proud that I managed to get this done. And like I said before, there's definitely some high points, there's strong things about the game, some weaknesses, but I think the lore is pretty fascinating. The storytelling could have been better, and some of the ending stuff could have been a bit better too, but I think the true ending is the most satisfying, especially with reaching the unmoored world. I think that was pretty good that they did go to that extent. But I do think they could have done a bit more with the story. They could have added more to it, because like I said before, it only took me like a couple hours to like get to the end of the game, whilst I was like skipping through the majority of stuff, since, you know, I was aiming to get this playthrough done as quickly as possible just to get that achievement at the end of the game. So I wish there was more meat to the bone, is what I would say, in terms of the storytelling and the main quests. I think there should have been more main quests. I think that was the problem, like finding out about the lore and what everything means, like with the Brime and the, you know, and the cycle. I think we should have had like some sort of lore like dump sooner, or at least spread out a bit more to get the storytelling going and be like, oh, this sounds cool, you know. Instead it's a bit cathartic in my opinion with like some of the quest stuff. It's like, okay, because it's focused on the throne stuff, and then like it's just thrown out the window. It's like, oh no, we need to focus on Lord Faces now, and then it's like back to the dragon. You know, I think it should have been a bit more consistent with the storytelling, like to have that be the big threat. I mean, they did early on with the dragon, but I think they just could have expanded more on that lore. You know, they could have just given it to us instead of trying to like pull the pieces together with like the, you know, how the game ends and how we can change the fate of everything. But I'm glad that we were able to stop the cycle as the Arisen, thanks to our pawn as well, who gave us the will, the power to take down the dragon's dogma, to take down the dragon, to stop the cycle from happening, and to you know, eradicate the Brime from spreading and causing the constant cycle of dragon causing the Arisen to be, you know, brought about, and then the pawns having to serve under the Arisen to slay the dragon, and then someone comes along to take down the sovereign, and the cycle repeats itself, you know, like with Raphias. He was like, no, I've had enough, I'm not doing that. So he basically was sentenced to like a endless torment as a spirit, and then he was like, well, I'm going to use the last of my soul to make this Godsbane sword and give it to an Arisen that I believe can slay the dragon and put an end to the cycle. So I think it's pretty cool in terms of the lore in that way. But that's all I wanted to say about the game, and I've thoroughly enjoyed the gameplay aspect of this game. It's one of my favorites in terms of the combat. It's so fun. I think the gameplay alone is good enough to bring me back with certain things. You know, if I wanted to fully rank up some of the characters, or if I want to go through the story again, play as a different character, see the different outcomes of the quests, you know, it's there if I do want to come back to this game, or even if I played it on a different platform like Xbox or PC, sorry, so that I can like get the achievements on those platforms if I really wanted. But I think the price point was a bit high, considering like some of it is a bit lacking, you know, like the save features and whatnot. So I hope if there is a Dragon's Dogma 3, fingers crossed there is, because this is great. I just hope that they work around the save functions, because I think they were like a lot of people were not happy about it, especially when the game first came out. There were, you know, a lot of people had complaints that it was just not a great system, and seeing it for myself, I can understand why, because, you know, I got stuck in a situation where I accidentally locked myself out of a lot of quests because of the whole game progression thing, and I did not want to wait until New Game Plus, so I was like, I'm just going to start a new save. So, you know, that aside, complaints aside, I really enjoyed Dragon's Dogma 2. I'd give it a 6 out of 10 overall, now that I appreciate the ending a bit more. Because like I said, it's not the best game, but I like it for what it is. It's a fun game. So that's it for the playthrough of Dragon's Dogma 2. Sorry about all the rambling, but we'll be focusing on other playthroughs coming up soon, like with Claire Obscure, as well as Oblivion Remastered. They're going to be the focus with those playthroughs, and there will probably be videos coming out of them as time goes on, or even in between this, but yeah. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it if you did, if you wanted to check out the ending of the games, well, endings. And it's been a blast to play through Dragon's Dogma 2, finally. And yeah, I'll see you guys when we play one of the other playthroughs on the channel very soon. So, hope to see you guys there when we have some more content coming. I'll end the video here now, because I'm rambling.